For this calibration report, you'll need a power supply, temperature transmitter, multimeter, and also a process meter. For this temperature transmitter, it's a 24 volt DC, so we'll need a 24 volt DC power supply. We'll need a multimeter, and right now I currently have my multimeter set to read milliamps, and then our process meter here. So this temperature transmitter, its range is from 0 to 100 degrees Celsius, and we're just gonna check the calibration, maybe have to recalibrate it. So on our process meter, we're gonna have to make sure that we're set to degrees Celsius. All right, to begin with, we're gonna start off at 0 degrees Celsius, and then we can look and check our multimeter, and we can see that we're reading roughly 3.2 milliamps. So we're gonna write that down as our as found for our 0%. Now we're gonna go to 25 degrees Celsius for our 25%. We can see that this is roughly 7.2 milliamps for our 25%. Let's go up to 50 degrees Celsius on our process meter. Oh, you can see it there. And we can see that we're reading about 11.2 milliamps. Bump it up to 75 degrees Celsius. We can see that we're reading 15.2 milliamps. Now we can bring it on up to 100 degrees Celsius. We can see that we're reading about 19.4. I actually went through ahead and wrote down all my as founds, and then our 19.4, I guess I wrote 19.2. Now let's go back down through. Let's see. Go back down to 75 degrees Celsius and see that we're at 15.2 milliamps still. We're gonna record all these measurements so that we can have a 5-point calibration report. Go down to 50 degrees Celsius. I'm sorry, I brought the process meter out of frame again. So we got 11.2 milliamps. Go down to 25 degrees Celsius. We got 7.2 milliamps. We'll bring it on down to 0 degrees Celsius. We got 3.2. All right, so now we need to go in and actually adjust the calibration on this. So you can see right here, this screw, well, I guess you can't actually see that well. This screw is gonna look like that with a little marking for that screw. It's gonna look sort of similar to something like that. And that's gonna represent our 0 screw. So we're gonna go down, make sure our process meter is set to 0 degrees Celsius, because that's what we're gonna try to zero our temperature transmitter to. Now we're gonna have to turn clockwise till we reach 4.0 milliamps. Let's see, getting close here. Okay, so now that we have our zeros set, we're gonna raise the temperature to 100 degrees Celsius. See, we're a little bit out of range still. So now this here is our range. Still can't see it, but it's gonna look something similar to, I think that there's arrows on that. I'm not sure. I don't think there is actually. I think it's little dots maybe. That's what it's gonna symbolize right there. It's gonna be our span or our range. So we're gonna adjust that to make sure that we are at 20 milliamps. Let's see, bring it on down, make sure we be real precise with this. Oh, too much. So now that we're at 20 milliamps, so now we're going to go back to 0 degrees Celsius. We're still at, let's say, make sure we're still at 4 milliamps. We're going to write down our as left, 4 milliamps. All right, now we're going to go up to 25 degrees Celsius.
Did you say what tolerance you wanted for the temperature?
Now we're going to go to 8 milliamps when you adjust to 25 degrees Celsius. So we're going to go up to 50 degrees Celsius. Reading 12 milliamps. At 50 degrees. Now let's bump down to 75 degrees. See that we're reading 16 milliamps. Going up to 100 degrees Celsius. Check and see, we are reading 20 milliamps. So now we can go back down to 75 degrees Celsius. Reading 16 milliamps. Go down to 50 degrees Celsius. Reading 12 milliamps. Let's go to 25 degrees Celsius. We're reading 8 milliamps. Let's bring it on down to 0 degrees Celsius. We are reading 4 milliamps. So now we can go through and I'll show you a little bit about the process meter. For this process meter, you want to make sure that you are doing resistance, because this temperature transmitter is set up for RTD, and say if you had a thermocouple, you would want to go to millivolts thermocouple and then choose your type. But for this temperature transmitter is set up for a PT100 RTD, and our temperature units are degrees Celsius. Now this is here. It's a drawing of sort of what I have hooked up on the board here, so that we can perform our calibration. So you're gonna leave your power supply right here. You're gonna go into a 250 ohm resistor, out of the 250 ohm resistor into the positive of the temperature transmitter, and out of the negative of the temperature transmitter, you're gonna go into the amp meter, and out of the amp meter, you're gonna go back to the negative on the power supply. So let's see. Oh, the difference. The difference in here, we have a 0.8 milliamp difference, another 0.8 milliamp difference. Right here we have also another 0.8 milliamp difference, and then 0.8 again. And for this one, we actually have a 0.6 milliamp difference. And then all of our numbers were the same, so these will all transfer down here. But that's how you calibrate the temperature transmitter. This temperature transmitter, you can get pretty much the process meter, temperature transmitter, and the multimeter all on Amazon to do it for yourself at home. And you can also get the power supply on Amazon